All right. As you can see, I'm in a different spot than I normally am because I got here a little bit late, and somebody took my spot. But that's okay because this is probably a better spot, or as good of a spot if there is a good spot. You can focus right on the front door. So let's give it just a couple of minutes and let some people come in. Yeah. So hopefully people got a chance, who are here now watching the stream, got a chance to watch that last video. The video I just put up, the video that just premiered. Hopefully you got a chance to watch it. The next video will be on Bangkok, which I'm dreading editing it because I have so much footage and I'm not sure how to present it, which is always my problem. I always have my doubts about what I'm shooting and the editing that I'm doing, especially the shooting. I mean, I'm terrible with that. I need somebody to come with me that's like a producer, and he goes, all right, we're gonna do this. Okay, and I just do it. Then I don't have a problem editing, and I think I can do okay editing. But hopefully that last video came out. I always look to Alex, because Alex tells me straight. He goes, yeah, it was okay. Better than your usual stuff, a little different than what you normally do. And I said, okay, that's good enough for me for right now. So, this place is almost empty. There's a total of 7 people in the whole place. Let's hope that the crazy girl doesn't come back, like, with an AK. I always dread that. I'll be sitting here. It's like there's nowhere for me to go. I can't attack. I can't do anything. She comes in with the AK blasting. What are you gonna do? So anyway, I gotta put my glasses on, man. I got a headache. Headache from not wearing my glasses. So Nicholas is still in the hospital, 8 days now. He's probably not going to get out until tomorrow or Wednesday, but he is better, no fever now, and he's itching, which means, supposedly means that when you're itching, you are healing, because you get you get red under the skin, and that's because you're hemorrhaging, and so once you start itching, that means it's stopped and you're healing, supposedly. That's what I've been told, heard, what I believe. So, oh man, maybe I got bit. We've got all kinds of contraptions set up to catch these little critters. We have no sitting water aside from toilet water, and the toilet bowl is closed. The seat's down, the lid's down, But, we don't really have a lot of stagnant water where we can help it. And we've got the smoke things, the little coils that you light on fire. We've got the zapper, the little tennis racket zapper. We got like 3 of those. We've got 2 of the little things you can hang up or you can just set on the floor. They're like, I don't know, they're like tubes, light tubes, and they zap them. So we got all kinds of things set up there. We've sprayed, the government sprayed outside. We've sprayed inside several times. And Alex was going to go and do some pull-ups down at the park down the street. And my wife told him, no, don't go down there because of the canal, and I don't want you getting bit again. And I'm like, he just had it. I don't think he's going to get it again. But, being the mother, she's like, I don't want him going down there. So, in case you don't know, today and tomorrow are holidays in Thailand. Tomorrow is the king's birthday. That would be His Majesty Maha Vajiralongkorn. Even I got a hard time saying that one. Maha Vajiralongkorn. Maha Vajiralongkorn. Tomorrow's his birthday, so this is a 4-day weekend, which is good for people. They got the next today and tomorrow off. And that is actually a good thing for tourism as well. But first, today's shout out goes to Mr. Carlos, who I haven't seen in a while. I hope you're doing all right. And also Mr. Jack. Thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you very much. The following stream and all of the videos on this channel are brought to you by my Patreon patrons, the VIP members of my website, and YouTube membership, and your purchases and contributions / donations, whatever. You all are the ones who make the channel possible and my travels possible, like in the last video. So thank you very much. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Please click like on the video, like on this stream, and head over to my website at americaninbangkok.com, or you can just take a look at any time in the description down below. You'll see a link to merch, Amazon, all kinds of stuff, my website. And there should be a little video window for those in North America where I'm selling t-shirts and mugs. I need some new t-shirts. I need to figure it out and get some new shirts. Today's barista, Miss Beer and Miss Preo. It seems like Preo's on her own over there. She's working the cash register and making the coffee. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Now, I got a couple things to talk about today. As always, never at a shortage for words. Hang on one second here. My thing is, I'm wondering, the crazy lady is not here that I see. I would not know. It's Switzerland or Germany, wherever, as they say in Thailand, up to you. Up to you, wherever you want to go. You want to go Switzerland? You go Switzerland. You want to go Germany? Up to you. Why you not come back Thailand? Come back Thailand quickly. Quick. I should do I should do a whole video where I just speak like broken pidgin English, Tinglish. Anyway, let me get back to what I'm doing here, because I'll lose my train of thought like I always do. So what's going to happen to the tourist industry here? And do Thais really want to get rid of the tourists? Do they want to bite the hand that feeds them? I've been thinking about this quite a bit. What's happened in Gennaro? Very interesting to think about this, because let's see here. The travel trends define the future of world tourism. This is not just a Thailand thing. This is not just tourism in Thailand. Oh, we'll just rely on domestic tourism, that kind of thing. This is something, think about it. You can't really, it's very difficult to go anywhere. And then there's a lot of places, well, at least some of the places are places that people don't want to go. Not everyone wants to go to Tanzania. Not everyone wants to go to Ecuador, So, to me, that's not freedom. And until we get this thing under control, this whole situation around the world, I don't see it changing drastically, at least for a couple of months, but it's going to take years to get anywhere near back to normal, in my opinion, but we'll see. So here's what an article that I found says: people still want to travel, even if their options are severely limited at the moment. Even if their options are severely limited, 84% of respondents to a hotels.com survey admit they're looking forward to traveling again. But attitudes have also evolved as a result of the pandemic. 49% of those surveyed admit they would be still nervous about traveling even after all travel bans and border restrictions have been lifted. I don't think I'd be all that nervous if I was wearing a decent mask. And people were made to wear masks. I don't think I would be as nervous because I always washed my hands. It's kind of disgusting to, take a dump and not wash your hands, or take a leak and not wash your hands, or walk around all day and be grabbing things. And then, you may not think you have dirty hands, but, who knows? Like I wrote in my book, They Call Me Farang, I wrote about that I didn't always feel comfortable taking money from the taxi drivers, because some of them are flat out, they're knuckle deep in their nose picking their schnoz, and then they grab the money and they're giving it to me. And I'm like, who knows where their schnoz has been? I'm like, buddy, you got to pull it out, Respondents also admit that the pandemic has also caused them to reset their travel expectations and priorities, with healthier options being preferred over busy party holidays, quieter locations now preferred over bustling cities, traveling with family and friends over traveling alone. 20% said they require reassurance from local government and health authorities. I don't know about that, because I don't know that I trust them. I don't know that I trust the health authorities, because I don't think they know what they're doing. I mean, let's take a look at the U.S. government. And I'm not talking about the corona. The corona, I think, it's such a huge country, and each state is responsible for themselves, that I think it's basically, it's a clusterfuck. But I think if you look at the way they're handling the stimulus package, the fighting between the political parties and the infighting inside of the Republicans and the Democrats about what they want, it goes to show that, you get a bunch of people together, no one can agree on anything. If you told the story of Little Red Riding Hood to, 500 politicians, at the end of the day, you wouldn't even know what story they were talking about, because they all see it in their own way. And so I don't know that I trust what's going on. Well, I'm going to get into the travel bubble here, but let me go on here. 27% said they would feel reassured when their governments confirm that travel is safe. I wouldn't feel any more secure than I feel right now, which is, if I'm far away from somebody, I feel secure. Even if I get it, I may be okay. But I don't want to get it if it's going to cause symptoms. I don't want to be sick. They also claim that health will be their main priority when packing their suitcases next time. More important, they said, than staying connected or being fashionable. They'll be packing hand sanitizer, 61%, surgical masks, 51%, disinfectant wipes, 47%, and travel insurance documents, 43%. Their laptops, sunglasses, magazines, and books slipped down their priority list. Well, 33% want to explore more of their own country. Well, see, that's what I'm doing here, because what else am I going to do? Like they say, what are you going to do? 27% want to visit their bucket list destinations. I don't know how many bucket list destinations I have in Thailand. A couple. He's talked about that for a while, and I do believe he's going to do it. And he said, I'm leaving, as soon as possible. So I don't blame him. 26% want to travel internationally. Well, I'm one of those. 51% believe that having a good hotel buffet is key and ranked number one on the list of key amenities that accommodation should have. Other important amenities include fresh towels, well, that's important, and sanitation facilities such as public hand sanitizers. I agree with that. finally managed to get disinfectant wipes. They have been out of stock and are, again, I was like, wow. It's funny you say that, because I have an abundance of alcohol, gel, disinfectant wipes. I got too many. We have too many masks. I mean, we have too much stuff. And I'm glad we do, because I don't really have to worry about it, at least for a while. Now, the thing is that I'm going to go inside to the grocery later today. When I'm done streaming, I'm gonna go to the hospital and meet up with my wife and Nicholas. But first thing I'm gonna do is go into the grocery and take a look around and see what is stocked up and what's not, because I couldn't even find pasta sauce the other day. I'm like, what's going on here? The pasta sauce is dwindling down to like 10 bottles and cans, like the crappy Heinz tomato sauce. So you got to make your own, which is fine, but like, why don't they have it? Sausage, certain bacon, certain cheese, they're all running low and out. There's a lot of things that they're low on. And so, I want to make sure we stay stocked up on the stuff that I need, so that'll happen. Let's see here. Where do these travelers want to go? 44% want a beach resort. 43% prefer luxury 5-star hotels. Who doesn't want to stay in a 5-star hotel? I guess give me a little bungalow that's 5-star where I'm alone in my place. I don't have to go walking through and there's hotel room after hotel room after hotel room. And to be honest, I really like the hotels where I stayed. The only one I didn't really like was on this last trip was the one in Pangon. What is it? Pankon. That's what it was. Pankon. In Pankon, that place, it was like a little apartment that they, rented out rooms daily for, or nightly. It was okay. It was clean, but it was very, clinical. Like, it's like a little hospital room, but it was only 350 baht, so you can't complain. I did like the mut mee in Nong Khai the best, but to be honest, I was thinking about it. The mut mee hotel was probably the best thing of my whole trip in Nong Khai. Nong Khai is not one of my favorite places. Bun Khan was great. Nakhon Phanom was great. They were very different. But Nong Khai was a bit boring to me. But anyway, that hotel was great, and the room was cheap. It's $20. 35% prefer the independence of a vacation rental, but even more important, where don't the travelers want to go? They want to avoid crowded places, okay. Lesser known beaches will appeal to the cautious traveler. Smaller boutique bars over the crowded restaurant and bar tourist strips. 25% said they would take a romantic getaway, but 38% are more looking forward to a family get-together to reunite and to spend more time with family and friends they haven't seen for a while. 45% simply said they want a change of scenery and just want to travel anywhere. I think that's most of the people in this stream right now. They want to just get the hell out of Dodge. Priorities have changed in the last 6 months, most definitely. All right, now, this weekend, because this is a long holiday, there are people that want to take a little bit of a holiday, and supposedly this weekend there's a lot of bookings at hotels and resorts, reigniting hopes of a revival of domestic tourism, which has been battered for months. Accommodation in the southern province in particular have been receiving a good rate of bookings with holiday makers for the 4-day extended weekend. The Tourism Authority of Thailand says hotels and resorts in coastal provinces in the east and seaside provinces in the south are reporting a surge of bookings to 80% and 90% occupancy over the 4-day weekend, which kicked off yesterday. It should be noted not all resorts are open and that many have opened a select number of rooms, skewing the TAT's rosy picture for the holiday outbreak. So that's something. You know, they may be renovating half of their hotel, and then they're saying that, you know, oh yeah, we're 90% booked, but it's 90% of 50%. Wow. Now, there is talk. The tourism minister is talking once again about this travel bubble. It's back on the negotiating table. You know, there are foreigners that you are allowed to come in. Like somebody like me, I could probably get in as long as I wanted to pay the money and was able to pay the money. I could go out and then come back in. You know, it'd be a little bit of a headache. Not something I want to engage in, or I don't care how much money I have. I wouldn't want to pay unless it was an absolute emergency. But it says the agreement will play a vital role in rescuing the crippled tourism industry, which relies on foreign tourists. Now, here's what I thought was really interesting. Although we currently are encouraging Thais to travel domestically, it's still a difficult situation for entrepreneurs since foreign travelers contributed to 2 out of 3 trillion baht of total revenue. We will negotiate with Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and the Health Ministry to permit more travels into the country. So I don't get their numbers because, you know, it's, oh, we're going to lose 10% of our revenue. Well, 2 out of 3 is not 10%. That's a hell of a lot of money. And it's, you know, for me and for many others, Thailand may seem like, hey, everything's normal, there's not a problem, aside from people wearing masks and there's hand sanitizer all over the place. You know, I haven't seen anybody, unlike in the United States, I haven't seen anybody who got the shit beat out of them because they didn't have a mask on, or who got shot or anything like that. I haven't seen any of this, which, you know, say what you will, but there are some extreme positives in Thai culture. And one of them is that, you know, generally the people are they're pretty mellow and pretty cool. You don't mess with them, they ain't gonna mess with you. And I like that. For me, that's good. You know, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. You don't mess with the bull, you don't get the horns. Simple. The agreement, if approved, will allow tourism exchanges with certain cities or countries where the coronavirus threat appears to be under control. Countries and territories proposed for consideration include China, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. Why they're considering China, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but the idea was later shot down by the civil aviation regulator earlier this month due to reports of a new surge of infections in partner countries. To satisfy health concerns, the tourism minister said that the renewed discussions will focus on tourism from particular cities or provinces instead of the whole country. However, only high-end travelers will be allowed to visit the country at the initial phase. This is what they're talking about. Phuket, Krabi, Koh Samui, supposedly the high-end travelers will be allowed to come in and stay there, as long as that's the only place that they go. I don't know. It just seems like a huge pain in the ass for as Jono likes to say, Mr. Jono, if you're listening, the juice is not worth the squeeze. And that's, to me, that's true. I mean, you know, listen. This is not what it used to be. You know? It ain't what it used to be here. On Wednesday, last Wednesday, government's response center to the pandemic allowed trade fair participants film production crews, foreign patients seeking treatment in Thailand, and Thailand elite cardholders to enter the country on condition of having to spend 14 days in quarantine, of course, at their own expense. The minister said he expected to generate at least 1.6 billion baht from foreign film sets. About 10,000 trade show participants are also eyed to come in. You know, they really need to tread carefully, I think, because, of course, everything breaks down to money. It's always about the money. And I wish that wasn't true, but it is. You know, it's not about, hey, my wife is here, I miss her, my girlfriend is here, I haven't seen her in, 6 months or whatever, and, I miss her so much, I love her, I'm going to marry her. That's not what it's about. It's about, do you got the money to offset any risk of you coming into the country? And I think that, most people look at it as like, it's an expense they don't need, especially now when a lot of people aren't working, or they're worried about their job or whatever. What do you guys think? Are they trying to boot everybody out? They've got this extension now. They have a grace period until September 26th. And I don't know, that's an extra 6, 7 weeks? It's more than that. It's 2 months. It's 2 months to prepare yourself to leave if you're a tourist. I don't see what the problem is. Now, maybe those people who are tourists are better served to go home. I don't know. Because there is no safety net in Thailand. They don't have a family. If you're a tourist, you're not supposed to be here living with your family. Not anymore, at least. That's not how it used to be. But. Take a little break. I gotta rub my eyes clear. Headache. Pretty mellow morning here in, 10? Mellow morning here in Starbucks. One of these days I'm going to have to go to Texas Chicken. All for you, Longhorns. I'm going to have to go to Texas Chicken and eat some food there, just so that I can videotape it or film it and give my appraisal of the place. Now, let me show you something else over here. That's Preo. There you go, Gennaro. I don't know who that other girl is. I forget her name, Mook or something like that. She must have just come in. And then you got a couple of ladies here. You got a lady over in my corner who's falling asleep. And then you got 2 ladies here and 1 guy here and me. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people now. And if you look over there, Beer is, right now she is putting the sign up. You can't see it. She's locking the door, putting the sign up so that nobody can go out. Oh, it's a holiday, so they're open at 10 o'clock. วันนี้เปิด 10 โมง ใช่ไหม? So today they open at 10 o'clock. Because it's a holiday. All right, let's get to the next piece here. Well, now, what have we here? I can't believe I'm seeing this, but everybody's talking about vaccine. And I don't know what I believe, or, you know. Only if you have a phone. No, what are you talking about? You can use free Wi-Fi on your laptop. The first vaccine against COVID-19 for human use is expected to be available in 2021 and is expected to be available in Thailand for a cost of about 620 baht, about $20 per dose. This from the Secretary General of the National Vaccines Committee today. Dr. Siriruk Songsiwila, I said that wrong. Siriruk Songsiwilai says the price is based on the 100 million doses valued at about $2 billion US dollars, 63.2 billion baht, ordered by the US government from drug makers Pfizer and Germany's BioNTech, who jointly developed the vaccine. Sirok says that Thailand is using 3 approaches, developing its own vaccine, developing vaccines through transfer of technology, and the purchase of vaccines from abroad. They said you needed a phone number? Oh, you know why? Well, I don't know why you would need a phone. Oh, maybe because you have to register your Starbucks account to get the free Starbucks. Yeah, but I don't know why you would need that. They want you to register to get it. I mean, yeah, this is, you know, listen, man, I feel for you. And you know, I'm going to start watching a couple videos. There are some videos I've seen online where people have completely gone off social media for like years and what it's done for them. And I have a little circuit that I look at a certain number of publications in the, having to do with the news. I look at my website, I look at, YouTube and check comments, I check my email, these kind of things. I have a little routine. Once I'm done though, I'm like, okay, so now what? Now what am I gonna, and I catch myself, if I look at Facebook and then I see a video and then I see the next video, the next thing you know, you're down a rabbit hole and you're pissed away a half an hour or an hour. And, for me, it's a little different if I'm doing something on YouTube, if I'm streaming or making a video or editing or something like that and I need to go back and forth. That's a little different. But like, just even with social media, you can set up most social media to do things automatically. You can go on to Facebook, you can set Twitter up, you can set Tumblr up. We can't set up Instagram to do everything automatic, or if it does, it's not very good. So you just need to basically set everything up. And I've done this before where it's like for a month at a time. You set up photos and videos to go up on your Facebook if you really want to do that, and then it'll just go up and you don't have to do a thing, nothing. You don't even have to look at your account, which is great. And I kind of think this reliance on having a mobile phone, this reliance on being connected, they're making it to where it's mandatory, not optional. And I do think it should be optional, because I don't think it's good for people. I mean, let's face it. There's a lot of advantages to having to being connected all around the world. There's some great advantages, but there's also a lot of negatives. I asked her to turn it down. She can't turn it down. This is part of the Starbucks system here. They have no way of turning down their volume. They locked it. So, live stream demonetized, another one. So ridiculous. Anyway, let me go on here. Siraruk said there was consistency among the volunteers who showed few serious side effects, adding that the vaccines developed by U.S.-based Moderna are also showing promise, but that before widespread use in humans, candidates must pass third-stage trials involving larger numbers of volunteers, followed by a study of their short and long-term efficacy. It is also not known at this stage if a vaccine would be a once-only injection, annual, or some other timing. Currently, there are 30 vaccines being trialed in humans, and scientists are optimistic they will have viable vaccines soon. If a successful vaccine is developed and then they go on, oh yeah, it looks promising, but if a successful vaccine is developed for COVID-19, it will be the first vaccine ever created for a coronavirus. So, oh yeah, it looks promising, it's optimistic, let's be optimistic, and then this will be the first one we've ever done though. So, who knows if that's gonna happen. I'm not holding my breath. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, now, if you know what's going on in Thailand, we got the case of the Red Bull. Tony G, thank you very much. Is Prayao? It's not Prayao, it's Preo. ไม่ใช่ Prayao. She's looking at me. Prayao. No Preo. Preo, no Prayao. Oh, God. Yeah, well, hopefully they'll get something done. It would be good if they got a vaccine. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not one of these anti-vaxxers. The world is out to get you. Everybody is going to do it, and you're not going to know anything. Yeah, thanks a lot, Tony G. I appreciate it. It's nice to have kind words once in a while and, a little financial support when you're always seeing these thumbs down. Now, it's so funny because before the video or stream will even go up, I'll see like 5 or 10 thumbs down, and then all of a sudden they start dropping off. I don't know why. YouTube must see that somebody's doing something. I got no, I got no idea why. Anyway. Oh, back to work. You're gonna have to say her. Thank you very much, not my waifu. Hey you. Hey you, Mita, where you go? Gennaro, if you really want to have any chance, you're gonna have to learn how to pronounce her name right. It's not Prayao. I'm sure you know that. Thank you. I'll try. Now, I'll talk about the Red Bull case here and what's going on with that, which, I'd like to know, I'd like to hear the explanation for this. That's, listen, hey, I'm not making judgment. I just would like to know what the whole deal is with this and why the case was completely dropped. I don't know if the case expired or what. That is her nickname. Just like the other girl, I was like, your name is Elisa? First I thought it was Adisa with a D. I couldn't really hear her. Because, I'm old and my hearing is bad. But, for whatever reason, her name was... Could you give me a guesstimate on the amount of Sinsod that Preo would want? Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know if she's in university. No, not all of them. Not all of them. Some of them are Noke, which is bird, frog, which is cope, Uwan, or, because, fat. Well, it's funny that they have a witness that says that now. You know, but getting back to Gennaro's question, because it is a good question, I could ask her, and I will ask her. I'm not going to do it on camera though, but I'll go over there in a minute and ask her. But I want to make sure she's not busy. But if I were going to guess, I don't know if she's in college or not. If she's college educated and she wants, I'm going to say because she's from Isan, she's going to expect it. I'm going to say somewhere around 500,000 baht, depending on her, you know, what kind of family she comes from, and you know, if she's educated. 60,000, that's a slap in the face, man. That's a slap in the face, unless her family has money and they really, really like the person that she's with. Now, the thing is if they like the person she's with, my guess is that he's going to have something, 31.58. He's going to have something financially beneficial for the family. How much is $1 conversion to baht? $1 is 31.58. She may take that. I don't know. I'll ask her in a minute, but there's a couple guys over here, and I guarantee you that if I start talking to her, they're gonna start sticking their beak in my business, and I don't want that. I don't want to embarrass her. 300,000. She may take it. She might take it. She might take nothing. You know, it depends. That's the thing. I'm gonna say she probably would, but to be honest, I don't think she has a boyfriend, and I don't think she's looking for one. You know, they like, some of the younger girls, they're like, hey, man, I don't need a boyfriend. And contrary to what some people might believe, they don't have a problem with, you know, like banging a bunch of different guys or hooking up with one guy and, you know, they don't have a problem with that. The other thing is that just because you fork over the money doesn't mean that she wants you. Seriously, contrary to what people believe. Well, the more educated, definitely, but it's not everybody. You know, it's not all of them. There are some out there that this cultural aspect of Thailand is, its importance has diminished over the years a little bit, not completely. A guy I know, that's all I'm going to say. A guy I know, he's a Thai. Married a woman who was college educated, and I'll tell you what, Preo is more attractive than this woman was, and he gave her 700,000 baht, and this was 7 or 8 years ago. So, you know, say what you will, maybe it's 700,000 now, 800,000, I don't know. But she was nowhere near, well, she did have some big breasts, but, and so, you know, that's, the guy was earning okay money, but he was the kind of guy who would make a bunch of money and he would piss it all away, he wouldn't have a pot to piss in. So, you know, she got the money, and now I think they're divorced now. I don't know. So, you know, it really depends. I'm 30 years old, but we never talked since son. Well, you know, if she was educated and she was making a good living, and the other thing is that she's older. 30 years old is older, a little older. You know, if she has a kid, technically, really, you know, what you give should be, you know, you give a little bit, maybe you give 50, 100,000, 200,000, and you get the majority of the money back. That's how it works. But you know, it really depends on the woman. You know, if you end up with some chick who's working in a bar, or she's, relatively poor and she doesn't have a pot to piss in, this is it's part of the culture. Well, no kids is a good thing. Virgin, if she's a virgin, price usually goes up. This coffee is the same as it always is, average. Now I'm gonna go over and ask her. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me do this. I'm gonna go over and ask her, and I think I'm gonna get another coffee. Where's my wallet? All right. All right, so here's the deal, which is kind of, well, that's because I kept it down a little bit, but here's the deal. I said, you're not married. I know she's not married, but because she's young. She's like 22, 23. Oh, man. Anyway, she's like 22. I said, you're not married? No, I'm not married. You got a boyfriend? I never asked her that before. Yes, I have a boyfriend. Okay. You don't want to marry with him? I said, when are you going to marry with him? She said, maybe when I'm about 30. I'll be ready to get married. I said, okay. So when you're going to marry, do you need sinsod? And I said, if it was you or, somebody like you. She said, well, it's always up to the family, always up to the people. But I said, well, for you, about you, how much? And she said, oh, yeah. I said, what? I said, like, how many millions of baht? I was joking around with her. Try to lighten the mood a little bit. How many millions of baht do you need? She said, no. She said, I need about 500,000. 500,000. And I said, well, if the guy's a good dude and he loves you and, your family likes him and he's got a good future, and what about, like, if you were to get married and it's 500,000-600,000 for the sinsod, and then would your family consider giving back, like 50% or like 200,000 baht, something like that? She said, yeah, maybe, So it's negotiable. I think it depends on what kind of, character they think the person has. Is he the kind of guy who's flighty and might, just run off on her? I knew a guy a Thai guy, and a Thai girl in Udon, and the guy knocked up the girl. He married her. He gave her 200,000, and then a couple years later, no, not a couple years later, like a month after, I don't know what I was thinking. A month after they got married, or after she had the baby, he split. I don't think it was even a month. I think it was just, like a couple of weeks after. He just split. He just left. Didn't say anything, didn't do anything, just left. And basically left her high and dry. Now, she had 200,000 baht. She was, she was all right. She was kind of cute, I guess. And some guy's going to like her. But, in Thai views, she's damaged goods because she's got a kid from another guy. So that's something, you got to think of when you are courting these women here, and you're courting them for like marriage or something like that. You got to remember that, first of all, they're going to change. Their family situation might change. Your situation might change. And in the future, like if you just decide, I've got a kid, he's 7 years old, things have changed, I don't want to be with her anymore, and I'm going to split. She might want to kill you. Seriously. It's not like in the United States where a lot of chicks will go, that son of a bitch. Now, funny, I'm talking about this, but I just saw an article today about Kelsey Grammer, and his daughter was attacked in a New York subway, okay? Which, that in itself, okay, I guess a lot of people get attacked, that sucks. But then inside the article, I saw a link that said, it's about 16,100, something like that. And then in the article, I saw how he is completely disgusted by his ex-wife, Camille Grammer. Now, I know who Camille Grammer is because I binge-watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because I didn't have anything to watch at the time. I started watching it. Then I was like, all right, let me see what these chicks are like. Talk about entitled, man. I mean, it's all about getting their hair done and going shopping, and she prances around like her shit don't stink. And she's got a nice body, but like her personality and her face, I'm just like, ugh. So he was talking about her and how they hadn't been getting along for a while. That's right. Yeah, she was dining in a restaurant, and the guy couldn't get served, and somebody said something, and then she tried to mediate it or something like that, and then she got sliced or something. So, but anyway, the point is that here I was watching this. If you listen to her on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, he was a bad kisser, had bad breath, had a little dick, was an asshole who never spent enough time with her, didn't treat her well. And this bitch is living in a fantastic mansion. She's got servants, she's got this, she's got that. I'm sure it would be possible for her to like fly over there once in a while, and give him a Hummer. If he's that busy, at least knock out a quickie once in a while. You got the money, fly over there, give him a little something. You would think that she would want to do that. But the way that she talked was like he was the most horrible man on the planet. And he's talking, and he goes, listen, we had problems for years. And I tried to, say, okay, I'm just going to go through it. We're married, blah, blah, blah. And then she apparently told him she got pissed off on the day that his mother was being buried, and she told him she wanted a divorce on the day that his mother was being buried. Now that's a heartless bitch. I mean, that's a heartless, cold bitch. And again, she thinks her shit don't stink. If you watch her prance into her room, I'm sorry. I just look at her and I dislike her right away. You know. But that just goes to tell you what kind of people are out there, and like what they'll listen. There are guys you think they're not. There are guys, I'm not saying you, Gennaro, but there are guys who will come over here and profess their love to some woman. It's happened many times. They'll profess their love to some girl, pop their cherry, or like tell them they love them, and oh baby, you're the best, you're the greatest, honey, I've never met anybody like you. And she's like, oh darling, you're my tilak now, I love you a long time. And then, Gennaro, are you propositioning marriage? Because she's over here right now. I can set it up maybe. That one tastes a little funny. I don't think I'll say anything. Oh, great. That's what I need to know. You're on the toilet. Oh, man. But, that's why, like maybe the guy, he thinks he really loves her so much. And then he comes back and he hasn't seen her. He's got a little beef with her because she didn't pick up the phone in time or something, and she said she was with Mama, and he thinks she was in a bar with her friend or something. And so, he's pissed off, so he decides to go out with his buddies, and then, like he's nailing some stripper or something, and she calls up when, hey, I thought you were coming into town today. She calls him up, gets a hold of him, and, she figures, oh, he's sleeping with a chick. And then the next thing you know, and she's, got his baby. That kind of shit happens all the time here, which is why there's so many problems. It's not because, I don't believe anymore, it's not because guys are so stupid, although some may, where they think that, like some chick who's, I'll tell her if you want. I don't know if I can do it, man, with a straight face. I'm going to say my friend Gennaro likes you, but I know you got a boyfriend, so... And he can't come in because of the corona. See, I mean, it's like... I can't do it. I don't know. I always noticed that, like, some of them, like I see them and, they come in and they're young and, like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And after a couple of years, you see them, the bags are under their eyes a little bit, from going to work every day, busting their ass. And, they put on a few pounds. That's what happens in life. Here we go. This is a Cafe Amazon girl who I don't ever go to Cafe Amazon in the mall here. You haven't seen enough of her. Oh God. I don't get involved in affairs of the heart. You know what I mean? I got enough problems taking care of myself. You know what I mean? Like, my own mental, physical health. Then I got to worry about my kids and my wife, and it's like that's the last thing I want to do is get involved in somebody else's love life. Jesus Christ. I don't get involved in affairs of the heart. Gennaro, I tell you what I'll do. You hit me up how you usually hit me up. My nose is doing whirlies today. Oh, God. I've come to the conclusion it might not be a deviated septum. It might be some kind of an allergy to food or something else. So I'm going to have to start eliminating foods. Well, what I can do is I can hook you up and put you in indirect contact with her. And then you can see what's up with her. I can do that for you. But you're the only one, because you're special. and I'm serious. I'm not gonna, but that sounds terrible. What, putting Gennaro in the middle? I can put Gennaro in the middle of it. Oh, God. Ooh. Ah. Forrest Gump special. Her name isn't Jenny. Jenny. Who can I turn to? 867, what is it? 867 5309. Unbelievable. Well, getting back to this Red Bull thing. They are investigating why the charges were dropped. Now, I kind of was under the impression that the son of the Red Bull heir, I figured one of two things happened. I figured that the case expired, but that's not the case. Or that they're setting him up. And they're saying, oh yeah, everything's fine. Then he comes back. They throw his ass in jail. But everything is about perception. And I've been saying it about this whole stimulus package, about this case. If the perception is that this was, simply a matter of paying people off, or in the stimulus package, if it's a matter of the people in charge don't care enough to help the public, it's not the perception that you want to give, because people get pissed, and then that's when things start to happen. Let me do something here real quick. Bad things start to happen. People don't like it. They don't like being screwed around. Now they're playing the same tape as the other day when I was here. Believe me, they get over that. They get over that real fast. All right, hang on one second. I think this is Doris Day. I always liked her. I don't know why. I love that blonde hair and her purity, at least in the movies. Well, let's see here. Anyway, all right. So let me go on here. I like to think of it. I don't like to think of the word stretch. I like to think break them in. It's kind of like you get a shoe or a baseball glove. You break it in, you get that thing to fit like a glove or like a shoe. A glove's probably a better analogy. Yeah. A lot of people miss Thailand, which is why I believe, listen, I was going to try to take, the vast majority of people who voted on where they wanted me to go, and no, hell was not an option. But about 50% of the people just said up to you, which leads me to believe that either people want to be surprised or they're satisfied with what, the choices I've made in the past. So I thought to myself, what could I do? And I've been trying to figure out how to go on the Mekong in a boat, not just a cruise, like a little short cruise, but more like, take a cruise up or down, or, well, preferably up river, which is a little difficult, and not go into Laos because I don't want to leave the country. And there's a couple of companies that they go into Laos, and I thought, well, maybe I can just do a portion of the trip. It's not going to happen though. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. Now, maybe if I stuck around in an area where there was a pier for, say, a week or so, I could find somebody, maybe. But there's no guarantee, and that's a bit, that's a bit of a stretch. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and continue going on the outside edge, Thailand's outside edge, which means the next stop would be Loei. And then I would go to Phitsanulok, but I may just cross right through it and not even stop in Phitsanulok, but I will go through it. Then I'll go to Uttaradit and I'll stop there. Then to Nan and stop there. And then that may be the end of the trip. I don't know. Depends. And what does it depend on? As always, it depends on money, because right now I got to go to the dentist tomorrow, which is why I'm streaming today. And also, what else do I got to do? Oh, we're going to have to pay for Nicholas, which, it probably won't be that much, but, it all adds up. So those are the two priorities. And then I'm going to get a ticket, and I got to make sure, that I noticed that the hotels are a little bit pricier in Loei because, it's a little bit spread out there. But I'm still looking around. I'm still, planning things out and what to do and all that kind of stuff. But it still looks about 2 weeks or so. I should be out of here and on the road again. So that's nice. And probably by the next time I stream, which maybe will be on Thursday, I'll have some kind of a format and see what I'm gonna do. Cheng San. I thought it was, what was it? Chiang Khan. And that was in Loei. Oh, that's in Chiang Rai. I don't know if I'm going to make it to Chiang Rai this trip. I don't know yet. It'd be nice to get there, but I just don't know because, listen, right now is not the best of times for people. I understand. And, I can only do what I can do. Even traveling here, I think that last trip was, I haven't figured it out, but it's somewhere around $500-600. And, some of it I paid for and some of it you, the people, helped with. God damn. I feel like I got an egg in my nose. Maybe I got bit by a mosquito and I've got the West Nile-Virus or the Zika. Nicholas is starting to want to get out of the hospital, so I know he is better. For all I know, he could get out today. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think it'll be until tomorrow, and then if not tomorrow, Wednesday. But anyway, there are some places I want to go. I'm in for 50. We just need a few more and a done deal. Yeah, you see? That's what I'm talking about, you know. And, you know, I almost, I say almost, you know, because it seems to me that most of the time it's always the same people. But I wish I could just build up. Listen, subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. And I know if you're subscribed or not. YouTube tells you if you're subscribed. Tells me if you're subscribed. I know who's subscribed. I know who's been naughty and nice and who's subscribed and who's not. So please subscribe. I'd like to get 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But right now, I don't know where the subscribers are going to come from. Click thumbs up. Supposedly that helps with the algorithm. So does thumbs down. But the interaction helps with the algorithm. And yeah, you know. Considering that there's a hell of a lot of places. The more that I look into where to go to in Thailand, I could go, wow, thanks a whole lot, Johnny. You are not only a gentleman and a scholar, you're also a fine financier, a contributor to YouTube. I appreciate it. That's quite nice of you. Anybody want to match them? Like maybe 10 people? Anyway, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to match up some of the things I did in the last trip, but now, you know, I got the little video up this morning. I think it was, you know, listen, if you want to hear an interview with a Thai girl who's just a regular, hardworking Thai girl, like I don't mean to say just, but is a regular, hardworking Thai girl, and you want to see a place that's very, very Thai. You're not going to see Pattaya, the Pattaya of watered down Western version of Thailand. You're not going to see it modern with a little bit of tradition here in oh, well, thank you very much. That's funny. Could you be my mother? I don't know what I was going to say. That was a nice comment, but what was I going to say? I'm lost in space. Good morning, Mr. Hong Kong. How you doing there? There's plenty of places to go here. You know, I mean, once I popped out of my little shell where I was like, I want to get, I live in Thailand, I want to go somewhere else. It became apparent to me that, you know, although I have been to a lot of places in Thailand, I've seen a lot of Thailand, there's still, I could spend the next couple of years traveling around and I probably would never get to every place. You know, so lots to do, lots to see, and hopefully, you know, I realized something even on this trip, which is that most of the time when I shoot video, man, I got a bad headache. Well, wait until you see what's coming up, Carl, because you ain't seen nothing yet, buddy. I hate to tell you. The Wat Phu Sing trip was really, really pretty cool. Old man's leg. I'm all right now. I mean, I feel okay. And I felt okay on the trip. I wasn't in a lot of pain or anything. Felt pretty good. Now, doing something crazy where I got to go jumping around or I'm worried about slipping on a waterfall, that's a little different. But God damn, Doris, tone it down. She's driving me nuts. Oh, that old man. I thought you were talking about me, man, you know? I think he's doing better. I think he's trying to exercise and rehabilitate it and get his leg better. And from what he told me, I just talked to him yesterday, and what he told me that sometimes he's doing exercises in the swimming pool, which is always good. And he says sometimes that between walking and exercising, sometimes he thinks he overdoes it a little bit, which, he wants to get better. So, what I always say is you want to train at about 80%, or, do rehab that's going to push you to about 80 or 90% until it gets, you're peaking. And since he doesn't really have to peak, he's just flatlined, he shouldn't push himself too hard. But I believe other than that, he's all right. Yeah, this Wat Phu Sing, where I went after I did the trip up in the mountain, and I was like gonna go, hey, listen, I don't want to pay the extra 500 baht plus 500 baht for a truck. I don't want to pay it. I'm tired. I'm gonna be tired after this mountain. I don't want you to do it. And then I just thought, you know what? And I always think this: you're here, get it done, whether you're tired or not. No matter how you feel, just do it. And man, it was the best decision, because that was, along with that mountain, there's 5 places you go, and I can't remember all of them. There's like, this place with a bunch of holes. That was the last one. There's the Elephant's Head. There's the door to Phu Sing. There's Phu Sing, and I think there's one. Oh, and there's what is it? Hin Sam Wan, which is the 3 3 whale rocks. So there's some really cool stuff that I got some footage of, and I'm hoping that I can put something together that's really nice, and yeah, that'll look good, and I'll do some streaming and all that kind of stuff. But I gotta get that done, and it takes, like, the video yesterday took me about 2 days to edit, or this morning took me about 2 days to edit. Just about a day too long. So anyway, what else? This music is driving me nuts. I don't think that, like, for most people, listen, this thing with the Red Bull Air, does it affect us? Not right now. No, it doesn't. And hopefully it never will. And as I often say here, you know what? You stay in your own lane. You worry about yourself. You don't worry about anybody else. You don't worry about all the voting. You don't worry about, what the politics is and all that kind of stuff. Now, in the United States, I would be worried if I was a politician, because if you screw up now, it's your ass. It's your career. Or it could be, at least. Somebody like Mitch McConnell, this guy's a jack-off. He's really lost my any approval he ever had, which he didn't have much simply by being a politician. Listen, I don't know why they play this shit. And what's so funny is they're playing Western music. We're in Thailand. I'd much rather listen to some Thai music, mellow Thai music. Bird Tong Chai or something like that. Johnny, you ever listen to Bird or Carabao or any of these, Loso and music like that? Palmy. Got some good music, some good Thai music. Strange that this is a holiday for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't expect. I just found out about it day before yesterday. You know, the music that they were playing in the videos, the last couple of videos that I put up, speaking of which, there you go, buddy. There she goes. She gets a little break. She gets a break from the Gennaro. She's probably, right now she's probably texting her boyfriend going, this guy Gennaro won't leave me alone. What was I going to say here? I don't have much to say. I have things in my head lined up right now that need to be done. Priorities. And while, you know, I will admit it's like this last trip, it was, you know, it was a great trip. It was a nice trip for me. Considering where I went, where I didn't really expect all that much. You know, it wasn't like I went to Kokut where I was staying in a villa that was awesome. You know, I wasn't staying that way. But all in all, it was a great trip overall. And it's nice to do that. But, you know, once I was there, I was like, man, it would have been nice to have brought one of my kids with me, you know. You might be right, Johnny. I don't know, Gennaro, you fork up the cash, you might just tell the boyfriend, hey, honey, I love you, but, you know, it breaks down to money. It comes down to the money. Show me the money. Now, you might want to knock her up as quickly as possible, Gennaro. What is this little girl looking at me from? She's looking at me because I'm streaming or something. Maybe because I'm not wearing a mask. I don't know. Jessie J? Who's that? Oh, man. Who's Jessie J? Please tell me you're not listening to all this new kind of kids music, Johnny. Even my son can't stand it. He just can't handle it. The little girl behind me, she's like staring at me like, I'm like, I got a mask. Where is my mask? It's right here. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know. I may have heard it before, but what was that old ass song that I heard before? Just yesterday or day before yesterday. I heard some old song and I was like, what a great song. You know, the one thing about me is, you know, yeah, okay, I'm a little older, but I'm not that old. Here's a more age-appropriate one for you. Mr. Gennaro. Oh, she left. Age-appropriate, Gennaro. Only your mind works that way. My mind doesn't ever work that way. And I'm a sick, believe me, I'm a sick puppy. You know. Or I can be. I could say something. Maybe that's why Bo likes me. She stays with me because I'm a sick puppy. She feels bad for me, or maybe she enjoys it. Oh, I was a dirty old man when I was like 21. I'd say if you come to Thailand and you want to have some fun, really, you want to have some fun, you just be honest with them. Be honest with all the girls. One of the first things I learned when I came here, and that I was told by multiple women, is just don't lie to them. They may not like what you're saying. They may be angry. They may feel like, um, used, abused, whatever. But if you just flat out tell them, hey, honey, I don't want a relationship. All I want to do is bang. All I want to do is, I just want to have a physical relationship. I just want to have someone there at night once in a while, like to take care of my needs, to have a little fun with. And they may get pissed. There was a time that when I first came to Thailand, there was a girl who was, believe it or not, she was angry with me because I told her I didn't want to see her anymore. And I had met somebody else. And I said, listen, I don't want to see you anymore because I met somebody else, and I don't really want to, I don't want to mix things. And she was pissed. And then later on, like a couple weeks later, I saw her, and she said, I really thank you for telling me the truth and not lying to me, and she understood. And I was like, good deal. So, it pays to be honest with them. And then, at least that way, you're in the clear. If they got a problem with it, that's their problem. You know what I mean? You can't control how other people feel and how they think. It's taken me a long time to realize that, but they want to hate on you. They want to, tell you that you're, a dirty bastard and all these kind of things, and that's up to them. Maybe you can fly in by February 14th. Oof. Gennaro. Prayao. Okay. It's Payao. Oh, wait a minute. It's Prayo. That's what it is. I will talk to her, and I will tell her about Mr. Gennaro. I will. I'm just not going to do it. I do it in the right time. The other thing is you have to be sensitive to the situation. You have to be sensitive to when is the right time. Listen, if you got a bunch of old ladies around and you start saying things, and this is true, you got a couple old ladies around and you want to pick up on some chick, it's probably not the best thing to do to go, honey, I think you've got a great ass and I really want to hook up with you. That's not the way you're going to do it. Now, if you want to, you want to be straight up like that, you wait until the old ladies leave. You don't want to embarrass her. You can embarrass her when she's alone with you. Just say you're looking of a wife, maybe, and it takes quite a few to find the right. Yeah. Again, it's that, does the shoe fit? One thing I love really is that Thai girls are not, some Thai girls, they're very laid back. And the ones that are a pain in the ass and are insecure, get rid of them right away. If they start causing any drama, this is the thing, I used to say this in the Chowderhead videos. If right from the get-go they're going, oh, I have problem. Anytime you hear, I have problem, fucking get rid of them. Get rid of them. If like you've been seeing her for a week, 2 weeks, a month, and it's all, oh, I have big problem. I don't know. What can I do? Fucking kick them to the curb. They're ruthless. Ruthless is probably the best word. And they can seem heartless, but, I've never really had my heart broken. At least not more than for a couple of days. The beauty of Thailand is that you screw your pain away. You meet one and you're like, oh, she's a great girl. Wow, I really like her, and then she screws you around. You just screw some other ones, and after a while you forget. Bring back the Chowderhead videos. The problem is this is not the same time as it was a couple of years ago. First of all, people don't send me messages asking for my advice, which is fine. Second of all, I'm not really into it all now because, it's like if you're that stupid that you're going to hook up with some chick who's, works in a soapy, well then, it's about the money. And you better realize that. And it also takes somebody who's in tune with Thai culture. If you're not in tune with Thai culture, chances are if you hook up with, I'm going to say it again, if you hook up with some chick working in a bar, you're going to get fucked around. Now, if you know what you're doing, that's a different story. You might find yourself a wonderful woman, who's desperate to have a better life or something, or just desperate to be with somebody good and who treats her well, because some of the women don't get treated very well. Especially out in the, if they're, think about this, if they're uneducated, they're out on a farm and there was some guy, he's the local stud in the area, the good looking dude, but he's a prick. And, he's drinking and partying with his friends. He doesn't have much of a future. The women hook up with the guy, and then what? The guy's an asshole, and, to the point where, he's beating him up or smacking him around, whatever, and, she complains because he's screwing around with another woman, or whatever. That kind of shit happens all the time. So they got to be careful. And when you come in here, when you're allowed back in, look for a I hate to say this, but if you're like looking to hook up with somebody, hook up with somebody of substance. If they speak English, how do you speak it? Where did you learn to speak English? Oh, I learned it at Rainbow A-Go-Go, where I've been the mama-san for the past 10 years. You might want to rethink your priorities and rethink about your relationship. If she's a student in university, and she's probably got guys all around her, and they're although some of the guys, they're not real aggressive, they're getting some action. So you might want to think, hey, all right, what am I going to do to offset these things? How am I gonna be okay with it? I always thought to myself, if she fucks around, if I find her out she fucks around, or I even suspect she's screwing around on me to where I suspect it, next. And it's okay, you don't have to get angry about it. Because there will be a next, there will be another, and, at least for the majority of guys. I mean, I know there's guys out there that they got some real problems and they can't hook up or whatever. And, you can be one of these, what do they call them? What do they call that shit? MGTOW. You can be one of these MGTOW. I just the other day in one of the chats, the guy was like, I don't know why anybody who went to Thailand would ever consider getting married. Well, maybe because the Thai chicks are not stupid. And you can find one and move from chick to chick. And for some people, that's okay. I moved from chick to chick, like, on a daily basis or weekly basis. And after a while, it's just, you get burnt out on it. I did. I got burnt out on it. I didn't want to have to worry about, is this chick going to come to me and is she going to be like, Mama, I'm sick. Papa, he have a heart attack. I have problem. Yeah, give the dick to the duck. That's one of the first things that I learned is, they've got that saying, Haipet kin. Give it to the duck to eat. Which, when you think about that, that's pretty gross. But that's what you're working with. And you're working with some. Listen, I was with one, and I won't get too into this, but I was with one in Udon Thani many, many years ago. And when I told her I didn't want to see her anymore and I wanted to break up with her, she said, "You killed my dream." And I was like, oh my God, I'm her dream? Honey, I'm not the savior. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit. Changed my perspective on the way some of the girls view their relationship. So you have to be a little bit careful, And if you are, this is what listen, I know there's a couple guys that live in Pattaya who can attest to this, who I know a little bit, and people here, of course. But if you're gonna have a relationship with like bar girls. Keep it relatively superficial. You don't want to be getting into, conversations about the future and what are we going to do together. And you get involved in that kind of stuff, you're asking for trouble. These Chinese chicks. No wonder. Obnoxious. Getting obnoxious with the Starbucks staff. Anyway. And listen, I'm almost 58. I'm closing in on 60. The other day, my wife was saying to me something about, like having other women or whatever. We were in a discussion. It wasn't an angry thing or anything. We were just talking. And I said, do you really think at my age did I give a shit about any other women? I mean, like, what would I want them for? I'd want them for a short period of time. And I already know how the wife feels. You know what I mean? Like, my wife is not one of these people who's like, oh, I don't care. Give me money. You'll sleep with everybody. No problem. I know this is man. No, that's not how it is. Okay? So, at this point, I'm like, hey, when you get a little older, you want, it's nice to know that, like, for me, like, me and Alex were in the house last night, and we're going, the energy isn't the same. Nicholas is gone, the wife is gone, it's just me and him, or it's just him, or it's just me. The energy is not the same. And once in a while she'll say something like, oh, you sure you're not going there for, for a girl? I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I'm running over there. I've been carrying on this online relationship with somebody in bumfuck out in a village, and I'm going to go run over there and profess my love, and, it ain't going to happen. That's not to say I don't enjoy talking with people in general, whether they're female or male. Of course, talking to them. And if it's a woman, listen, what man doesn't admire a good-looking woman or a sexy woman or a woman with perfect breasts or whatever it might be, perfect ass? Okay, you look at them and you go, yeah. And now I'm getting to the age now where I'm like, I look at some of the people and I go, my kid's that old. Like some 20-year-old girl, I'm like, that kid's a baby, emotionally. Like, does that mean, like, if I was single, I wouldn't want to give her a root? Listen, hey, whatever floats your boat, of course, there's nothing wrong with a nice, prime-looking woman. Oh, man. I don't, sometimes it's hard to tell about the Thai girls when they're constantly wearing their little outfits. They're all black uniforms, and they, it's kind of hard to tell. And even, a long time ago when my wife was young and we first started going out, she used to wear, she worked in a restaurant, and she used to wear this little outfit, and I could never tell, like, is that ass nice? Is it really that nice? Well, I can't tell because, they dress down a little. Oh, man. But, once they clean up nice, most of them clean up nice. And that's, that's what's important. Now, with these, listen, the ones that I've talked to at length in Starbucks, the girls who worked here, they almost always had a boyfriend. And if they didn't, they were either lying or they just were in a place where they just didn't feel like dealing with it, or they didn't have any time to hook up with somebody or whatever. But, you know, listen, if you're... Anyway, somebody's calling me. I don't know who the hell it is. It's probably the dentist. Are you coming in tomorrow? I hate that when they try to verify it. It's like, I'm going to come in, and if I don't, then I don't. But I don't make an appointment knowing I'm going to cancel the appointment, so I don't need them to call me and text me. I hate that, and they always call at the most inopportune times, like when I'm streaming. I got to go to the dentist tomorrow. I'm going to have to go in another week after that. And then Alex starts school. Nicholas should be out of the hospital, and he's already missed... Well, today's 6 days of... Oh, no. Today's a holiday, so that's good. So he's missed a week of school. And probably in the next 2-3 days, I'll figure out, you know, am I going to fly there? I'd like to fly to Louis instead of... I don't want to take a train there. Take a train back or fly back, but I'm not going to take a train there. So, anyway, what's going on here? Anyway, so that's about it. I think we should wrap it up here. I got, you know, important things to do, like go see if the supermarket has my favorite sausages, favorite tomato sauce, and that kind of thing. See what's up. You have a gig or a prowl? You cheat on me. Oh. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. Take a look at the latest video that I put up. Let me see if I can just get the link real quick. If you haven't watched it, I'll make it easy for you. Boop, there it is. Appreciate the conversation. Choke D, love joke and my. As my kid has told me many times, most people don't say choke D. You know, they don't say choke D, jerk and my. They just say jerk and. So, need to stay there. But anyway, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. And it's time to go. If you haven't already, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe, very important. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my upcoming trip or about my latest video. Share if you can. That'd be much appreciated. And visit my website at americaninbangkok.com. Until next time, once again, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. For now, Bangkok. Next stop, Louis. And northern Thailand. And until then, Choke D. Good luck. Good luck for you. Jerk and my. Until later. See you later. All right. See you later, everybody.